What if a single, unexpected act from a stranger could completely rewrite the story of your life? What if that moment wasn't just a fleeting experience, but one so profound, so utterly out of the blue, that it altered the way you saw the world forever? I'm talking about something that might seem small at first glance, something as simple as a random act of kindness. But let me tell you, what happened to me wasn't just a nice gesture. It was a turning point in my life, a moment when everything I thought I knew about compassion and connection was shattered and replaced with a new understanding, a new lens through which I now view everything. The kind of kindness I'm talking about isn't just about helping when it's convenient or showing empathy when it's easy. It's the kind of generosity that comes with no expectations, no ulterior motives, just raw, unfiltered humanity. And that kind of generosity, well, it changed me. If you had asked me before that day if a stranger's kindness could transform a life, I probably would have laughed it off. I had seen too many people taken advantage of, too many moments where people acted out of self-interest for me to believe in the purity of a simple, selfless act. I was stuck in my own bubble of routine, jaded by the chaos of modern life where everything moves so fast that it was hard to see beyond the surface. People were always rushing, always looking out for number one, and I had fallen into that trap too, just going through the motions, getting by without ever really seeing the good in others. But then something happened, something that would flip my world upside down, and it happened most suddenly. Stay tuned for the story of how a stranger's act of kindness changed everything for me. Because if it could happen to me, it can happen to anyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an incredible story like this. It was a typical Tuesday morning when the encounter occurred. I had woken up late, rushed through breakfast, and found myself standing in line at the coffee shop, doing what I did every other day, waiting for my coffee, checking my phone, half-heartedly scrolling through emails and messages. The world around me was a blur, filled with strangers just like me, all caught in the same hustle, the same rush. I wasn't thinking about anything in particular, not really paying attention to anyone when it happened. A soft voice broke through my thoughts, and I turned to find a woman standing beside me. She was older, maybe in her mid-60s, her hair streaked with gray, her face lined with years of experience. She wasn't standing in line for a coffee, though. She was there for something else entirely. She was buying a gift card for a friend. A simple transaction that probably meant nothing to anyone else, but for some reason it caught my attention. After she made her purchase, she turned to leave, but then, as though on impulse, she paused, reached into her purse, and handed me something. I looked at her confused as she smiled softly and said, "I know you're having a tough day. A small gesture can help." She placed a card in my hand, a small folded piece of paper with a note scribbled inside that read, "You matter. Your kindness will change someone else's day too." And then she left, just like that. A complete stranger, someone I would never meet again, had just changed my day in a way I didn't understand at the time. My mind raced as I stood there holding that note, staring at the words. My first instinct was to be suspicious. What was her angle? Why would she do something like that? But then something inside me shifted. The note felt like a call to action, a reminder that kindness, even in small doses, could make a difference. In a world where I had become numb to other struggles, this stranger had reminded me that the smallest actions could ripple through the lives of those who need them most. I hadn't asked for this, didn't expect it, but there I was, holding on to something far more valuable than a cup of coffee. It was an emotional shift that left me questioning my own perspective, a shift I couldn't ignore. What if I had been wrong all along? What if I had been looking at the world through the wrong lens? Stay tuned to see how this simple yet profound act set in motion a journey that completely reshaped my views on humanity. Like and subscribe if you believe that small acts of kindness can change lives. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.
The days that followed were filled with unexpected moments, small but powerful shifts in my own thinking. I couldn't get the note out of my mind. What started as confusion and doubt began to turn into something much deeper: hope, belief, and a sense of connection. I found myself reflecting on every interaction I had with people, wondering if I had missed the opportunities to be kind, if I had closed myself off to the possibility of making a difference. I began noticing the small things: the way someone would hold the door open for a stranger, how a mother patiently helped her child with homework, or how a colleague would offer a listening ear after a long, difficult day. I had always been so focused on my own struggles, so wrapped up in the rush of life, that I had forgotten how easy it was to make someone's day, to offer even a moment of kindness. But that note from the stranger had opened my eyes to the power of a simple act of generosity. And soon, I started to practice it myself. It wasn't anything grand, just small gestures here and there. I held the door open for others more often. I smiled at strangers on the street, shared compliments without expecting anything in return. I helped a colleague without hesitation, not because it was part of my job, but because I could see how much they appreciated it. These small changes had an enormous impact on my mindset. I wasn't just doing things to check off a list or to appear nice. I was doing them because I genuinely believed in the goodness of people, in the ripple effect of kindness. One act had set off a chain reaction, not just in my life, but in the lives of others around me. The stranger had changed me without even knowing it, and now I could see that I had the power to do the same. And that's when I realized kindness isn't just an act, it's a lifestyle, a mindset, a way of being. It's something we all have the ability to share, no matter how big or small the gesture. It's what connects us all, what makes us human. It's the spark that ignites change, and if we all embraced it, the world could be a much kinder place. So what's your act of kindness going to be? Take that first step today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an incredible story like this. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.